So I was just sat on YouTube minding my own business. I was actually in a Discord call with a mate, my buddy Jean, and we came across a video called Doctor Who Season 2 trailer, The BBC Exposed Court Buying Likes. And I looked at this title and I thought, wow, what's the evidence for this? What's the claim? And it's by a channel who you may recognise, I believe we've covered them before, called Mr. H Reviews. Now, last time we covered this individual, he said, among other things, that Ncuti Gatwa had been, quote, inappropriate with kids and provided zero evidence for this, merely conjecture. This time, he is claiming that the BBC are botting likes and views on their latest trailer for Season 2. But you know, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's actually see whether this has any evidence. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. But the reason I want to talk about it is to make the point that online at the moment, people will just create narratives that they want to believe, and it doesn't matter whether they're based in reality, based in fact, based in anything. As long as they fit the narrative that these people want to push, it doesn't matter. Like, the narrative is set, and they've set the agenda, and that's all that's going to matter going forwards. And no one calls it out. Everyone is always like, yeah, that sounds about right, with no evidence. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be the person who comes in and says, no, this is not true. If you actually look at the evidence, this isn't correct. And I can prove definitively that this claim is nonsense myself. But let's get right into it. So spoiler alert, I have actually watched a little bit of the video just to kind of get the gist of what he's saying, which is why I'm so confident that I can debunk it. But let's dive right in.
Right, I'm just going to come out and say it. The BBC is fiddling the numbers with the Doctor Who trailers on the like to dislikes. Yeah, I'm just going to come out and accuse them of botting it, to be honest.
I mean, at least he's honest that he's just accusing them randomly. At least he's honest.
Because there is absolutely no way these numbers will be as uniformed as this. There just isn't. There just isn't. So the only reason this came around is I perused Deadline, and Deadline has this article. There's a new trailer. Doctor Who Season 2 trailer released. I was like, well, one, it's not Season 2, but all right.
I mean, to be fair, I do prefer the name Series 15, but ultimately, you know, I've gotten over it. I use it in titles. People get mad at me for using it in titles, but I mainly just use it in titles because that's what the SEO is. That's what everyone, you know, refers to it as. That's what it's officially referred to as. So it just makes logical sense for YouTube titles to be titled as Season 2.
Let's have a look at that then, shall we? Let's have a look and see what this trailer's like. And it's not long been out. Been out 2 hours. 2 hours at the time of recording this. 10,000 likes in 2 hours. With only 30,000 views.
Yeah, so he has his very quizzical face here, being like, 10,000 likes with only 30,000 views. What's going on there? They're clearly inflating them themselves. I can tell you exactly what's happened there, and I have 2 case studies for it. And not only can I tell you exactly what's happened there, I can tell you for a fact that Mr. H, as another YouTuber, will know exactly what's happened there. So, the main thing is, on YouTube, there is the views that are seen on the YouTube homepage and the views that are seen in the YouTube studio, the YouTube backend, essentially. And the backend numbers, the studio numbers, are the real-time numbers that are more accurate. The homepage numbers are the numbers that are less accurate and more broad and take time to catch up with the actual real-time numbers. And I have 2 case studies for this. Number 1, my own channel. Yes, my own videos. Yesterday, we put out a video going over the Season 2 trailer, which, by the way, if you haven't seen, feel free to go watch. And as you can see, at time of recording this, 19 hours ago, 8,500 views. Very nice. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate that. But then let's take a look at the numbers on the YouTube Studio dashboard. 8.8 in the same time frame. Now, is that me fudging the numbers? Is that me lying to inflate my view counts by a few hundred views? No. This is evidence of the YouTube homepage being behind the YouTube backend. And you might be thinking, okay, well, that's a difference of only a few hundred views as opposed to potentially a few thousand. But I could show you an even better example. Back in July, the trailer for James Gunn's Superman came out. And it came out to very positive reception for the most part. But anyway, when it came out, a very funny glitch happened where after an hour, it was only showing 5,000 views with over 320,000 likes and over 39,000 comments. This was taken from Twitter around December 19th. So yeah, this was something that did happen and I saw happen. Was this Superman artificially inflating the views and likes? No, it was a bunch of traffic coming to a trailer, which often happens, and the YouTube backend not updating fast enough to keep up with said traffic. The other thing I can tell you is that if you're on YouTube, you'll know that as of 2021, YouTube removed dislikes. So when you see YouTubers talk about the actual like to dislike ratio, in fact, you can see that I've got the like to dislike ratios on my videos here. The reason I have that is because of an unofficial extension, and whilst these are somewhat accurate, they're less accurate than they used to be because they're external extensions. So essentially, what he is using to claim that the BBC has botted likes is just standard YouTube practice. It's the back end being more accurate than the front end. And he, as a YouTuber with over 400,000 subscribers, will know this. I guarantee you, this video currently says, at time of recording, 9,584 views. I guarantee if he clicked on his studio now, the views would either be a couple hundred higher than that or a couple thousand higher than that. That's not a sign that Mr. H Reviews is botting, that's a sign that YouTube is behind. Because they often don't cope with traffic very well.
No, mate. No. And then I thought to myself, well, I can't make
No,
that
you're right. No, because I've just explained why.
accusation, can I? Without having a look at other things, just to corroborate that. Well, turns out, Doctor Who returns in 2025, Season 2 teaser. 10,000 likes in 300 in 2 months with 331,000 views. That's awfully uniformed, isn't it? That's awfully convenient.
Again, the like extension for Chrome, which I assume you're using, which I also use, is a lot more broad than YouTube's inbuilt system that it had previously. Additionally, I would point out as well, the likes and engagement are typically lower on shorter teasers, owing to the fact that they're not pushed as hard by the algorithm because they're shorter form content and YouTube encourages longer content.
The number is exactly the same as the other one that had only been out for 2 hours. Yeah, so I call bollocks, and the BBC is fudging.
I think you might just be a bit thick, to be honest. I think you might just be a bit... Look, I don't normally insult people, right? It's not in my wheelhouse to do. But this takes 5 seconds. And the thing is, I think he knows it takes 5 seconds. I think he knows that this claim has no weight. But he's making a video, an 8-minute video out of it anyway, because he knows that his audience will eat it up uncritically no matter what. Wouldn't be the first time BBC have caught fiddling with bots. The BBC fiddles more numbers. Truth and BBC don't belong in the same sentence. Doesn't matter if there's any evidence. People have already decided that it's right. They just look at the title and go, yeah, that makes sense. And do I think the BBC is a perfect corporation? No. No corporation is. But my point I'm making is, when people have their narrative set, no matter how much something is proven to be completely false, it doesn't matter. Once the idea is in their heads, that's all that matters.
In the numbers, very obviously, like really obviously.
This is really obviously easy to figure out if you had a single brain cell. I'm not being funny.
Yeah. This is really odd. And dumb.
You're right, it is dumb. It is dumb. It's very dumb.
Really obviously what's going... It's so blatant.
Does he say anything else?
I'm going to show you some others as well. But here's
okay, I'm going to show some others. No, I don't think I will, actually. Thanks, though.
A returning viewer that's not yet subscribed, or indeed a new viewer. Be good to
have
you
here, guys. I'm going to put it up 1.25 speed.
Because no one else has caught on to this, have they?
Because it's obviously transparently stupid for all the reasons I just said.
Is this confirmed? No. But it's bloody obvious that's what they're doing. 2 hours, 30,000 views, right? 30,000 views with 10,000 likes is an insane like-to-view ratio. Like, genuinely insane.
Yes, and the reason it's showing that is because the views haven't caught up with the likes yet. As I just explained on YouTube's back end. Very obvious.
Like-to-view ratio. Normally, right? Normally, it's a 10%, or it's a 10% of what it is that you've got. So if it's 30,000 views, it would be 3,000 likes, right?
That's roughly
10,000
about right. But again, the reason it's disproportionate is because the views aren't fully accurate at the time of which that screenshot was taken.
likes is staggering insane. A good one is the 10% of your views. That's a good like to view ratio. 10% of your views. And the fact that it's so uniformed across it. 331,000 views, still only 10,000 likes though. What? That should be 30,000 likes. This is so dumb and so obvious. So let's look at some other bits and pieces that have come out on here. This is Doctor Who YouTube channel. I've never even thought to look at this, by the way. I've never even thought to look at this. It's not been high on my agenda.
I think, it's very accurate. I think you could just end the sentence. I think you could just end the sentence that I've never thought, to be honest. I think that would that would summarise this.
But, why not? Let's have a look at it, shall we? So, the last one that we looked at was the... What was it? It was the Doctor Who Returns in Season 25. Well, in 2025, sorry. Let's have a look at... Christmas special trailer. Now, this is more like it. 81,000 views, 3.8 thousand likes. This is more like it. Isn't it weird?
Yeah, because
that Christmas special trailer,
that point, 2 months ago, the likes and the views evened out because the YouTube backend, it had been in the system for long enough for the numbers to be accurate. Once a video stops being pushed, the numbers will slow down and YouTube will catch up. This is very easy to understand. And I guarantee you, any YouTuber worth their salt knows this for a fact. Any YouTuber watching this, feel free to reply and just tell me, yeah, I know this happens. I know when my homepage shows one number and my studio shows another. Because every YouTuber has this. Every YouTube channel, including Doctor Who and including Mr. H Reviews. But it doesn't matter because it's against the narrative.
In fact, actually, that's a bad like to view ratio. Again, remember, should be about 8,000. Right? Do you see? This is very strange, what they've got going on here. Let's have a look at another one. We've got to scroll through all this detritus to get to that. Well, there's a preview here, 370. Well, that's a weird one. 13,000.
Why is that one weird? That was... What? You said they were too specific, and then one is not specific at 10 or 20, and you're like, that's odd.
Promoting the next season, they really are trying to bump up their number. I'm still going to call them out. I still reckon this is them fudging the numbers. I bet you anything it's them fudging the numbers.
Oh, alright, mate. Yeah. Still call them out, even though you know full well why it's like that. Just, oh, God.
Unequivocally so. Let's have a look and see. Oh, here was that. There was a Christmas one. 19,000. Yeah. I don't buy it, guys. I don't buy it.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't, because you've already made up your mind, haven't you? You've already made up your mind, so it doesn't matter.
In only 2 hours, has got 10,000. I just don't. All right, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. There is no way in hell that is happening. No way in hell. So I look at this, and no way in hell that is happening. No way in hell. So I look at this, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this is fudging the numbers. This is fudging the numbers as well. It's too uniformed. It's too uniformed. And numbers don't... for it to be as uniform.
And again, also, it's partly uniformed because the like extension is slightly inaccurate. I could show you that this like extension exists, by the way. Hold on. Let me get... I don't know whether you'll be able to see it on my screen share, but I might be able to screenshot it later on. Ah, here we go. Return the YouTube dislike. That's the extension that shows me YouTube dislikes, which I know for a fact is slightly inaccurate because it's not official. But it's as close as I could get to having likes and dislikes, because I like seeing likes and dislikes. My point is, it isn't that weird. And it takes 5 seconds to figure out what's going on here. But I think he knows what's going on here. Any YouTuber with half a brain knows what's going on here, because it's been a common fact of the site for years. When a trailer drops, or something big drops, or even just a regular video drops, and it gets a lot of initial traction, YouTube will sometimes struggle with that. I mean, it's even true of my trailer video, because obviously I can show you a little behind the scenes curtain here. The analytics for this video did incredibly well, above average for this channel, because of course, it's a trailer, everyone was excited. But as a result, at multiple points during the evening, the YouTube backend was showing 3,000 views, and then the YouTube homepage was only showing 1.5. Because that's how it works. That's how any YouTube channel works, and I can guarantee you now that it's the same for Doctor Who. Currently, it's on 344,000 after 20 hours, which is very good, by the way. It's on trending, I believe. I think it was at number 5 at its peak. I think it might now be on number 6. Oh, it's on number 4, actually. Wow, okay. And yeah, 18,000 likes, 344,000 views. But I just felt the need to respond to some utter nonsense. And remember, when these videos come along, remember to challenge them. Remember to actually acknowledge their crap. Because that's what this is. There's no evidence, there's no basis, there's no nothing. It's just crap. It is. But let me know what you guys think. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you later.